All right, sweet. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Part two with Steve, all the way from Illinois. Got to get it right. And that part one was amazing. So you can see that, Steve's moving into, he's done his work and he's moving into being a light worker. I think a lot of us want to find, I guess I use I don't know if you know Wasp from the thing. We want to be somebody. So I'm a metal fan too. And you think these spiritual guys don't like wrestling and rock and roll? There you go. Got one here. But what I want to find out, Steve, is we get a lot of questions about what to watch. They watch us, of course, but they want to know where you got your info from. Obviously, you did a lot of work with regards to seeing professionals like I did. I've got even modern day professionals, whether it be a psychologist or whatever, but also natural healers and counselors, holistic counselors and all that. Give us a rundown of where you found the information, because the viewers out there are going to go, okay, I'm feeling like this. Where do I start? Even with people look at angelic numbers, and that's sort of like a synchronicity or a key for them to go, hang on a minute, because I've got a few people coming at me with angelic numbers. Tell us all about those, and I'll just throw you two names. I'm looking at Wayne Dyer's The Shift, okay, and I'll throw the Tao Te Ching at you as well to keep in your head to see if you've moved on to those two videos, especially the Tao. I'll leave it to you.
I do own the Tao Te Ching. I just haven't started reading it yet. It's on my list. I'm working on a book right now. I'm about like 350 pages into an 800-page book. Once I'm done with that, that's actually that.
Wow.
And Meditations by Marcus Aurelius are the next ones.
Marcus Aurelius. I was actually going to say, Marcus. How good's Marcus Aurelius? Some of the stuff on YouTube is amazing.
I like the ideas of Stoicism. It's pretty cool. What I'm working on now it's called Discipleship in the New Age, Volume 1 by Alice A. Bailey.
Just put it up there, just put it up straight, mate, so we can see it. I'll go the other way. That way. We've got Alice Bailey, and we've got Dictation of the New Age. Awesome, great.
So it's a book kind of about like.
Could you repeat that name for me, mate? Might put that up on our. I might put that. Is it the what's it called there?
Discipleship in the New Age.
Discipleship.
By Alice A. Bailey. It's a very, very dense book.
Alice A. Bailey, is it?
Yes. Middle initial A.
Excellent. Okay, cool. Because I'll put that up with our video too. So I'll put a reference. Sorry about that. Keep going, mate.
So I've been reading Discipleship in the New Age, but I have it's all about like conversations with a Tibetan monk and how he's kind of guiding like a group through a process of doing light work behind the scenes. It's very, very interesting, but at the same time it's a slow read. But after that, I already have my next couple little quick hits and things that I want to do. Like I know the Tao Te Ching as well as Meditations by Marcus Aurelius are books that you want to read like one section per day and kind of just use it as a reflection. So I like the idea of those long-term reads that are just quick little things just to get your mind thinking.
The funny thing with the Tao there, Steve, is Wayne Dyer always said, have it on you. And what I do myself, this is just personally, I read the whole thing, but then you can't not learn from it by just going open up a chapter. So that's something to keep in mind. I reckon you'll come back to me and go, what a great read. I'm guaranteeing you. Guaranteeing you.
I feel like it's one of those books you can just flip it and then pick. This is today. Oh wow.
That's it.
Okay.
Spot on. Sorry, keep going, mate. Sorry, keep going.
So I say if you're looking to get started somewhere, depending on where you live, check out local crystal stores or yoga studios and just kind of see what's available to you. Now, not every yoga studio is tailored for spirituality. Some of them are just fitness clubs that disguise themselves as yoga studios. But kind of just see who's there and get in touch with people who are into the spiritual world and see what they're able to share with you. Now, note that there is a lot of misinformation out there, so use your discernment, see what feels right, and connect with people that feel like they're, we call it, of the light. But I mean, go to crystal stores and just see what classes are available, learn about numerology. My first two classes were on numerology and crystals. And then from there, I had no idea what a crystal was, but at the end of my numerology class where I learned about the numbers, repeating numbers, I was given a crystal as like a parting gift. And I was like, oh, that's cool, but what the heck is this? So I took a crystal class, and then from there I was like, okay, so what is energy? So then I learned about energy healing, and I started getting into Reiki, and then it just kind of like boom, 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 went from there. So as you are on your own spiritual path, everyone's path is different, obviously. You don't necessarily have to follow the way that I did, but as you start to tap into it more, you'll see that the path is illuminated ahead of you. even though you can't see the whole road, you can at least see the first couple steps in front of you. And as you take one step forward, the next one will light up. Take another step forward, the next path will open up, and boom, 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 boom. Then you turn around and you're like, wow, I'm a completely different person from who
What
I
are we
was when I started
practicing
this
there?
journey.
We're practicing patience and non-interference. I mean, there's one that I've learned that force, non-interference, and patience. That's my three big things. And
Yeah,
Wayne Dyer in the shift, which I'd like. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've heard of it.
Watch it. It's another Tao Te Ching. You can't. You,
I feel like I may have watched it, but it's one of those I need to recheck again.
oh, you can watch it. You can watch, like, ladies and gentlemen, you can watch the shift now, tomorrow, and then a week later, and still have a different view on everything, because the synchronicities in that one. I'd be very interested to see your review on that, Steve, because I think,
Yeah.
there was one there. I've watched the shift for years, and then I watched one. One came up and it was talking about the art of non-interference. Like, something happens, if it's not hurting anyone, let them learn. So there was a couple of kids who had to learn themselves. They weren't getting hurt or anything, but Wayne Dyer spoke about the art of non-interference. And I think there's a big thing. I think something that, I don't know, it's just that I get these downloads and I'm saying I didn't say that for no reason. I think that's something that you'll incorporate very, very well in your therapies.
Well, thank you. I put a note in my phone to check it out.
Absolutely, absolutely. Keep going. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
You got Marcus Aurelius. I mean, I listen to his shorts all
So
the time.
so going into that path of like the classes that I was taking, eventually I started getting into what I call oneiromancy, which is this is back in 2012, 2013. Oneiromancy is the magic of dreams. So I started
Oh,
studying
right.
lucid dreaming, and just learning how to like do things like that. This is before I found the mystery school. I was just kind of just like throwing shit at the wall and see what would stick.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
I
let's do
started
that.
learning how to lucid dream, and in the process, you have to keep a dream journal. Is one of the main things of doing. So it's easier to tap into your dreams when you do that. And one day I had this crazy dream. I was on a work trip, and my job didn't take work trips. It was a part-time job in college. But I went into this meeting, and this lady told me this lady told me in the dream, you're on the right path, but you haven't found the key yet. Once you find the key, everything will become apparent. And boom, I just woke up. And 2 days later, I found this ad for this book called The Synchronicity Key by David Wilcock. And when I saw the cover of the book this was early days of Reddit, like, I felt like lightning went boom through me, and I was like, I need this book.
And off you went.
It's another one. It's another one. It's a very dry read. It's called The Synchronicity Key by David Wilcock, and
So
it
we'll get that.
completely changed my
Synchronicity key, was it there,
yeah.
Steve? And who's it? David Wilcock, was it?
Yeah, I'll text it to you. Yeah.
Wilcock. Yeah. I'll put that as up on the on the preview. That's awesome. That's great. We'll get them up there. Sweet as. David Wilcock. Great. No worries. Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah. So I was reading The Synchronicity Key by David Wilcock, and now the first third of the book is pretty dry, but once you get through the first third, it's like setting foundational knowledge for the rest of it. The second 2/3 are really easy to get through, but it completely revolutionized my perception of time and my place in the universe and how time operates. But we're taught to think that time operates linearly, past, present, and future, but really it operates in cycles. And we were getting into that earlier, I believe, as far as like the repeating patterns and cycles.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
But it goes into the fact that we have our individual cycles, our collective cycles within our family, our collective cycles within the town that we live in, within our schools, with all these different groups that we interact with, and it keeps getting bigger, bigger, bigger until you get to entire nations have their own cycles of karma. The entire planet has its cycles, and our job is to, as I say, think local or think global, act local. As you work on your own cycles, you break cycles within yourself, which then ripples out to everybody else. And you break your own cycle, ripples out to your family. So families break cycles, it ripples out to the community. Communities break cycles, it ripples out to the entire state, to the nation, to the world. And this is,
Do you think that's happening now?
process,
Do you think that's happening? Do you think that's happening now, Steve?
I personally do. I think that the last few years, since everything in the world has, using Wayne Dyer's word, shifted in the last few years, as we're all aware of. Don't need to get into that, but like as things have shifted, it's really started to accelerate a lot faster. And I think that so one of the things that I was shown on ayahuasca 2019, right before all of the shifts started happening, is that this spirit or being, I'm convinced it was an alien, but you never know. It said to me that the world is about to start changing. and it's going to seem like things are getting darker, but what's really happening is that the light is being shined onto the things that were already there to begin with. So even though the world will seem more chaotic, it's really just the light coming in to cleanse and purify, and the world will get better. So basically we're getting into this massive healing process, and it just looks like the world is losing its mind, but it's already lost its mind. We're just healing it collectively.
It's been like that for, look, we've got that opinion, and we're, as I said, I think the easiest way I describe it as, I remember the game The Sims.
Yeah.
We look like The Sims, and I believe I'm Doctor Strange, just floating. And I resonate with the eagle a hell of a lot, you know. I pull the animal spirit card, the eagle, and I just feel like the eagle's just watching over us. You know what I mean? And it's a case of, I think we just don't feel like we, not as we fit in, but we're sort of looking above and going, you know, especially the ego. I'm a big believer in, after going through the twin flame journey, that the ego is a representation of what we've been taught as a young kid, and all those lessons we brought into that weren't really not bashed out of us, but we were, you know, enhanced in a lot of way that we didn't know how to heal, like through meditation, through positive reinforcement, all those kind of things.
Yeah. And you mentioned the twin flame journey a couple times. I'm in the minority here. I'm a person that I don't believe that anybody should ever want a twin flame journey. It's very, very painful.
Oh, no, well, I didn't want it, but I believe it was a great thing.
Yeah.
I believe it was a great thing because it was that kick in the backside that I needed. And I look back, even, it only happened a couple of months ago, Steve. So I look back on it and I look at the person I am now compared to back then. Mate, it broke my cycle, mate. So I have to say thank you. I don't want, look, don't get me wrong. I'd happily help people through it, but oh, mate, it's weeks of pain. Yeah, absolutely.
When you said that, I got chills, and that doesn't happen very often. So yeah, looking back at my own, I think you're right with that. You hit the nail on the head there. It's definitely not something that is fun to go through. It's a very passionate affair while you're going through it, but then when it's done, it just leaves you in that state of like, I need to rebuild everything. And that's actually what led to, back to part one, what led to my Kabbalah journey was the end of that journey. The twin flame journey led to my Kabbalah journey. So the crumbling of the tower, the crumbling of the foundation of everything that I thought was going to be my life led to me rewriting all of the programming to create a new life from here. So that was like the ultimate dark night of the soul, basically.
Well, this is where it's at, mate. This is where I decided, as I said, Matt, I was doing life theories and all that stuff, but as I said, you go through those moments within your life, and so as I said, met Jackie Lyons from the Akashic Energy Healing, and both of us have connected like a tag team, and we're going through the same thing, and it's just like flow. So I mean, you got to look at what you go through as a person, and as you probably know with your clients, which you have, going through and seeing where they are in life and what they really need, and you know, we've been through it. I mean, the PhD of life, really, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, relating what you just said back to Hermetics with the Modern Mystery School, there's 7 principles of Hermetics, and the first one is the principle of mentalism, which is the all is mind, the universe is mental. So the world that you see is a manifestation of the place where you are currently in your own mindset. So when you interact with people who are still stuck in like a victim mentality, or who are even just stuck in their own trauma, I mean, they're going to continue to see those things until they're able to heal and resolve those things. So that is the job of the light workers and of the healers, is to help people get out of that stuck mindset.
So you look at that one. Keep going. Sorry, I dropped out again. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
But and that's basically how we heal these cycles, by helping other people. I mean, you have to be I'm of the mindset, a healer doesn't do the healing. We facilitate the healing for other people. So you do your own healing for yourself. So you guide people through their own healing to move through those cycles. And when they move through those cycles on an individual basis, it ripples out. And that gets back into what I was saying a couple minutes ago. We heal the individual cycles to heal the collective, one thing at a time, through these painful experiences. We go through these things. And this is why I think that plant medicine isn't the end all be all, because plant medicine is very, very intense. Versus there are other more sustainable practices, like imagine like if you're going to the gym, taking like an anabolic steroid versus working out regularly. The steroids will help you gain mass very quickly, but it's not sustainable long term versus going like through and doing the gym type stuff. Same thing with medicine.
Yes.
Medicine will just numb the symptoms. It won't actually heal the thing. So using practices like meditation, doing shadow work, journaling, things like that are much more sustainable. But anyway, so all of these things are working towards the end goal of being able to break cycles and being able to heal the world by healing yourself. And as you heal yourself, you heal the ability for you to manifest the world that you want. And as we do this individually, it creates a collective pull towards that golden age that every religion and society prophesies.
Great saying. You talk about journaling. I'm gonna put my two bob in with journaling. I write. I'm a poet. I write. You wouldn't think it, but I do. I've written a couple of books.
Cool.
What do you think about journaling? Excuse me.
Until recent years, I didn't see a purpose in it. I have a good memory, so I thought, oh, I'll just write it. I'll remember everything, and I still remember most things. But I mean, it's good to have a written record of lessons that are learned, something you can go back to and look back and say, hey, like, I've already gone through this. I don't need to go through this again. Or like, oh, like, why am I thinking about this? I figured out 3 years ago. I don't need to worry about this.
Well, I guess in a point where I was just going to say the pictures tell 1,000 words, and so do words. I mean, you know, you can the way I was writing. I mean, when you read the poetry and stuff like that, the Journey of a Whitefeather book that I've written, you can see it's not a part of it's not a story. It's just what happens daily and when you need to write. Yeah. Even I've written another one called The Last Train from Heartbreak Station, which I'm going to put together the next year or two. But that's a journey. I mean, that's a journey. Like, that was in my mind, but I was going through. People go, "Oh, where were you at?" I go, "I was like a young child going to Fantasy World," but it was more on the spiritual plane. On this case, a spiritual train, roller coaster sort thing, you know.
I'm glad that I started journaling. I've only been doing it for about like a year and a half now, but it's definitely added a different layer and a different depth to my own growth. And especially with what I was talking about with the inner child healing, because you can go back again, weeks, months to see like, this is what was going on. Okay. And this is what was going on a couple months before that and before that and before that. So this is a pattern now. When was the first time this happened? Let's keep going back. Even though I haven't written it down, let's keep going back to the beginning. Oh, this is something that happened when I was younger. My dad said this to me, and I took it this way, and I've kept that ever since then. Or like my teacher said this to me, and I took it the wrong way, or maybe I took it the right way, but it wasn't right, or what, so on and so forth. So it's very helpful in being able to provide context, and also if you have the awareness to find those patterns and habits so that you can break them.
Absolutely.
I just sent out an email to my email list a couple weeks ago saying that the subject was that you can't weed your garden if you leave the roots. So you can pull the weeds out and everything. You can cut the grass, but the weeds will still keep growing until you remove the roots. So you can cut people out of your life. You can do all the meditation, all the healing work that you want. But if you don't go back to the original thing that caused the damage, it'll keep hurting you. It'll keep repeating itself until you figure it out and forgive that cycle. It's like you're holding onto a chain that's holding you in the past, and you clearly can reach the next thing going forward, but you're still holding on here, so you can't get those extra couple inches that you need to reach the next
analogy
thing.
Yeah.
So the more you hold on to stuff, you can't move forward. So you got to figure out those things, and journaling helps to be able to see some of those things for when they started.
And accept it.
I say to anybody, to anybody who's not keeping a journal, and the sooner you start, the easier this process will be down the road.
Absolutely. Yeah. The way the journaling, everyone goes, I don't write, but you just write for what you are. As I said, I write poetry. That's the way I describe myself now, you know, and I've got to that point, and I write down, you know, if I get inspired, like I'll tell you, through the Twin Flame journey, I wrote a whole book. I wrote about 70 poems. It's going to be a whole book. So simple as that. So it's a case of being on emotion, and I think I go through now journaling. There's different ways of journaling, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that I've been doing the Words of the Warrior on TikTok, and that's my journal for the day because I'm actually expressing what I'm doing. Like, for example, we're looking at, I'll use the movie Mortal Kombat because I cosplay Nightwolf, one of only 3 in the world. Cool. But I was watching the movie, and he was talking about the Arcana, getting your inner Arcana, and the Arcana is basically your inner power. Now, on the movie, they go, oh, yeah, you can shoot fire or shoot laser beams or whatever. But let's relevant to what we're talking about. Let's find your inner power, your Arcana. And it's just another synchronicity that came through, another message that is given why you're watching this movie, why you're connected, because they're going to give you a message because you can find your Arcana, your power. So it's an interesting concept.
I want to get some context out. You guys speak for yourself. I can shoot fireballs. So I don't know about you, but I can shoot fireballs.
You can. Cool. Yeah. Cool. Well, there you go. There you go. We have a fireball shooter. There you go. But it's been great, Steve. It's been great having a chat to you. Do you want to tell us a little bit about just to finish up with? Just tell us where they can find you. And also just sort of give a little bit of an overview of what you actually do, because you do so many great things, mate. I mean, I'm just looking at it and going, wow, he's doing. You know, I got words like shamanism. I got plant medicine. You know, books. So I look at it and go, you know.
Yeah.
So. The floor is yours.
Yeah, so like I mentioned before, I'm not really involved in the plant medicine communities anymore, outside of just being an old friend. I don't take any of them anymore, but I still keep in touch. I have a good wealth of knowledge from my experience with them. Most of what I do now virtually is breathwork sessions, shadow work coaching, meditation, and virtual Reiki. A lot of the services that I provide in person have to do with the mystery school, and we have practitioners all throughout the world. So if anybody's reading this and they're not in the Southern Illinois or Kentucky or Missouri area of the United States, we have practitioners all over the world. I'm not too familiar with the geography of Australia, but I know that there is a new teacher that just popped up in Hobart in Tasmania.
Yeah, Tassie's just it's just near me. Yeah, over the Bass Strait, so it's not far from me. Yep.
So there's a new teacher down there. Her name is Cassandra Cooper. But there's practitioners all over the world. If you go on modernmysteryschoolinT.com for Modern Mystery School International, you can search based on your location in the world and find a practitioner that's relatively near you. We're in over 50 countries, I believe. But so with them, I do all sorts of different energy work modalities, aura cleansing, shamanic cleansing, crystal grids in your home, life activations, energetic cord cuttings and cleanups.
Oh, wow.
As I continue to progress through the path, there'll be more things that I add to that little toolkit. Different classes on sacred geometry, astral travel, things of that nature. Again, all of these things.
Been there with the astral travel. I've been there with the astral travel. Oh, that's it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, weird, mate. Weird, that one. But it works.
The class with the mystery school kind of teaches you how to how to do it. It's basically like driving with a driver's license. Now you've been taught how to do it instead of just kind of tossing yourself out. Oh, I'm going to Pluto today. Okay, well now we show you the road to get to Pluto safely.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, we'll get that. We'll get that info. I'll put that info at the end of the video so people can have a look. So it's Modern Mystery School and a few of the videos there.
Yeah, so that's kind of where my path has taken me. My eventual goal is to become a teacher of all sorts of different hermetic arts and classes with them. But I'm very open to learning about different things. I've always considered myself to be an esoteric sociologist, so I always like having conversations like this. And I'm very excited to see where the future takes me and takes everybody else.
Fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Steve. I mean, again, I love doing these chats to meet these great people, and we're trying to share the world, share the knowledge, share the word of these great people. I mean, we weren't in this community and doing what we're doing, and just opening ourselves up to get on and have a chat about people who are helping the world. I mean, Steve's doing a wonderful job. I will have all the information at the end of the videos. There'll be a couple of previews plus the full video, part 1 and part 2. And that will go up on YouTube, and then we'll go from there. But as I said, there'll be info, as you said, down the bottom of each video to get hold of Steve. You'll get hold of his link tree. Is there a hashtag at all that we can use there, Steve, or anything that is there any hashtags that they can find you directly on?
Not directly, but if you search on Facebook or Instagram on Facebook, the Namaste Nomad, or on Instagram, Namaste Nomad 1111.
1111. Okay. I think we're all connected. That's what Jackie and I call the 1111 Spiritual Podcast. There you go. So it's all connected. Well, on that note, Steve, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been a pleasure to meet you, and we look forward to our relationship growing in this community. It's been great. So thank you so much for coming on board. And yeah, as I said, it's an honor to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you very much.
No worries. From Australia, this is Jay, and this is Steve all the way from Illinois. And this is a chat with Jay and his friends on behalf of Life Theories and the 1111 Spiritual Podcast. Be your best self. Take care. And always look after yourself. If you want to be on the show, please send your email send an email with the information, and we can send you the form to fill in, and we'll get you on the show. You can talk about your spiritual journey, and we look forward to sharing your journeys very soon. Thanks so much. And as Bret Hart always says, be the best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Take care. Thank you very much, Steve, and we'll see you soon.
Sounds good. See you.